it's hard to see all of what goes on in the city. That's why we got Maddy Skyeline. It's time for Maddy Skyeline.
And it is time for Maddy Skyeline here on the Blitz on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 103.3 FM. He is Joe Reining. I'm Jason Minix, and she is the food and culture editor at the San Antonio Express News. Maddy Skye joins us as she does every week. Maddy, how's your Wednesday?
It's going great, and congrats to Mr. Joe Reining on your I'm sure you're tired of hearing it by now.
No, not at all, Maddy. Thank you very much.
I had to say, looking back on when I was working at Kent 5, and when I was 21, and finding out that you were in the newsroom too, I was like starstruck and completely like, wow, this is surreal. So, thank you for being an inspiration and setting the standard for everybody and being the San Antonio legend. And congratulations again.
I'm blushing. Thank you, Maddy. That means a lot. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
And working with Joe, Maddy, and knowing him for as long as I have, seeing all the accolades and his reaction to it, I can tell you genuine, sincere gratitude and appreciation from Joe Reining. But even Joe acted a little like Maddy Skye would have acted yesterday when he got a tweet from one Manu Ginobili.
Okay, what does that mean? That I'm a fangirl? Is that what that means?
You would have wet yourself. You would have wet yourself.
I was washing dishes, and I was like, oh! It was during the State of the Union address, and so I was checking Twitter pretty often, and I saw that come through, and I was like, holy moly. This is cool. So yeah, I definitely wrote something up on that as a Manu fangirl and a big supporter of Joe. That was very cool.
I was thrilled. I really was. And Manu, obviously you don't know him, but you work with him for so long, because I was so fortunate to be able to cover the Spurs in their glory days of the last 20 years with the Big Three. And so it was just, man, that was just really cool to see him take the time to do that. And I really appreciated it.
Yeah. Where were you in that moment? Were you at home? Dinner?
That's a good I think I was at dinner last night when that happened. And yeah, I don't know if I jumped up and screamed or what happened, but yeah, I showed my wife Maggie, and I said, look, Manu just tweeted, congratulations, or I can't remember exactly what the tweet said, but yeah. I've got it, and it'll be saved forever.
Screenshot it,
of course.
Framed. Yes. Go down to Walgreens, maybe
Probably
even make canvas out of that one.
But it's just, he's just such a class act anyway. Manu Ginobili always has been, and that's why people love the guy. He's hard not to love. I mean, how could you not love Manu Ginobili? He's just one of the great guys of all time, not just in sports, but of anywhere. He's just a great guy.
You already know he's my favorite. The one thing that I do dislike about Manu Ginobili, the one thing, out of all days, to decide that he was going to retire, he picked my birthday.
Oh.
he retired on my birthday. I was shedding tears at my birthday dinner table.
Wait a minute. Wait.
Yeah, in 2018.
So, but that's a bad thing?
Yes, I was so sad, and I mean, I guess it's cool. We share an important date.
You will never forget his retirement date.
I sometimes forget the year, to be honest.
But again,
2019.
I'm sure that Manu sat there, and as he was deciding on what he was going to do, as all the different things he was looking for, he's like, this is a great way to honor Maddy Skye on her birthday. She is a massive fan, and she would love this.
It's a national day of remembrance now.
It should be a national holiday in San Antonio.
It really should be. I agree with that.
True. Yeah. I would be okay with that, is what I'm trying to say.
But you know what, Maddy, I understand what you're saying, because that day was like, no, say it's not true. And you never want that. Yeah. I never wanted him to retire. I mean, he's one of those guys that you want to see play until they're 80. And he just, man, so it was a sad day. So I understand it. But we'll celebrate from now on knowing that that's your birthday.
Yes.
Yeah, we're celebrating two things: Ginobili's retirement and Maddy Skye's birthday.
That's right.
We'll do it. Now, Maddy, a lot of things going on in San Antonio, and I was in Vegas over the weekend, but saw on Twitter about a local business that you rallied a lot of support to raise money for those in the Ukraine right now and everything that they're going through. What a phenomenal story. And I got to believe your social media has really sparked a lot of interest for people to go stand in line at a business that they didn't know existed a week ago.
I would hope so. And I think it was this communal effort. I know that the original Laica cheesecake social media post was picking up a lot of traction right off the bat on Thursday when they announced it. And I followed up with a story on Friday. I didn't get to go out there on Friday, but I went out there Saturday around 4 or 5. And man, I thought that line was long. It basically stretched the building. But I saw other social media posts throughout the weekend of the line stretching onto Catherine Street, I think it is, right into the residential neighborhood. So background, if you are not, in case you missed it, Laica is Ukrainian owned, and they announced very early in the week that they were going to donate all money made. Any money that came into Laica over the weekend is going to Ukraine to support the armed forces there. So whether you bought cheesecake, coffee, directly donated. I bought a hat. I bought this hat because by the time I got there, they were out of cheesecake. And I think that the really phenomenal thing about all of it is that multiple times as I was standing there during that like hour-long span, the employees came out and told us, hey, we're sold out of cheesecake. But everybody kind of looked at them like, okay, and we're going to stay here and we're going to give money how we can, even if we have to buy an ice cube. Thank you, Rocky. I bought a coffee and a hat, and a lot of people were just going up and donating. So it was a very awesome showing of San Antonio support, which we're always really, I can't even say amazed because San Antonio is so known to do this. When the going gets tough, San Antonio always shows out. But the grand total was revealed today, and San Antonio raised more than $70,000.
Wow.
That's incredible.
That is incredible.
$72,405, I believe the exact total was.
And you know, Maddy, it's interesting, and I know a lot of the country has rallied around Ukraine over the last few days, but San Antonio certainly has. You drive down the street and you see the billboards now that are out and saying, you know, we support Ukraine and all of that stuff. Have you noticed any other businesses or anybody else doing anything like that?
I feel like I know I noticed something recently, and I thought about it. I hadn't seen the billboards. I was wondering about the billboards, but I did see City Hall displayed the blue and yellow colors.
That was cool, yeah.
The day or two after, yeah. I've seen a lot of prolific people here in San Antonio also, you know, changing their social media handle to something that aligns with Ukraine or things like that. Where are the billboards at?
There are those electronic billboards, so I guess you got to catch it at the right time, you know, when they flip over. But I've seen a couple of them now. Driving down I-10, and then I saw one coming to work today down 281 as well.
And I know Dixie Flag Company over there right off I-35, they've been cranking out Ukrainian flags because a lot of people want to show this sport and have a flag. And, you know, Dixie Flag, they make everything right there. I want to sidetrack a minute. Go over there and take a tour of their facility if you've never done it.
It's incredible.
It's incredible when you go in there. And then, you know, every year, the couple times a year where they have the retirement ceremonies for old American flags, it's very special the way they care about flags and the way they handle it. It's not just a factory and let's just get them all out there. They do a great job, but I know they've been making a lot of Ukrainian flags, and I've seen a lot of bars, and I think it kind of started with Conroy's, or maybe he's been the most vocal on social media, not doing and pouring any Russian vodka.
Yeah, right.
Taking Russian vodka off the shelves.
I've seen a lot of bars do that over the last few days.
Well, and we've got a lot of great Texas vodkas. And
that's true.
I would imagine there's some from the Ukraine that you could get behind. But it is pretty interesting, and kind of like this, $72,000 raised, because in San Antonio especially, and I know it seems to be this way across the country and really across the world in support of the Ukraine, you want to help in some way, but how?
Right.
And if you have a local place like Laica here that has connections to where you know the money is going to a place in the Ukraine that can put it to good use. Yeah. And that's, I think, the key behind what has happened here at the cheesecake, with the cheesecake or coffee purchase or buying whatever. You know, they're from the Ukraine. They have the connections that money will get used the way we think and want it to be used.
And I will say the cheesecake is delicious. I didn't get a chance to have any on Saturday. They were long sold out. But the cool thing is I was also very excited about is last year I had tried this coffee in Chicago that I was thinking, man, I'll never get a coffee like that again because I am obsessed with chocolate covered strawberries. And I had a warm cup of coffee like that in Chicago. And I've always thought about it. And by default, I was scanning the menu at Laica trying to find something to buy. And I saw something that had strawberry foam. And so I got it. It was a cold one, but that thing was delicious. It tasted a lot like that original one that I had.
Are you a big coffee connoisseur? I mean, you mentioned that from time to time on the show. Is that something that you try different coffees from different places?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes, I do love coffee. Yeah. Now I'm drinking a protein coffee. So like all types of coffees.
I'm a big coffee guy too. I like coffee. If I don't have coffee in the morning, I'm really grumpy.
He really is.
I really grumpy, yeah.
We learned that after a week in LA.
That's exactly right.
Especially when he couldn't figure out how to use the coffee pot.
I could not figure out how to do it.
It took him an hour.
Well, I use the Keurig right all the time, and that's pretty easy. You stick the thing in there, pull it down, and go. And when I actually have to make coffee again, I forgot how.
Joe trying to make coffee. If we had video of that.
He has the caffeine jitters.
Yes, I get really grumpy, Maddie, if I don't have that coffee right away when I wake up.
Whatever the term for hangry is for lack of coffee, Joe has it. It ain't pretty. It ain't pretty. Maddie, what else is going on in our great city?
We have a couple of food items coming through. We have this brand called Dave's Hot Chicken that it's Nashville chicken, but it started in LA, which I thought was interesting, but it's backed by people like Drake, First Lady Maria Shriver, Michael Strahan, Samuel L. Jackson. They've all invested in it. And it's just this booming hot chicken concept. And although they haven't set actual locations yet, they have signed on officially to bring 8 to San Antonio.
8?
So 8 locations. Yep.
Wow.
So that's pretty exciting. It looks like there's going to be a Chick-fil-A downtown near Frost Tower. I broke that story, I think last week or late last week, early this week. It's going to be a pretty expansive one right in the Rand building. Let's see.
Well, knucklehead question for you, Maddie, that you probably don't have the answer to, but I'll bring it up anyway. I mean, because, another hot chicken place. And again, I think Nashville Hot Chicken, I think of Hattie B's.
Right.
But a lot of places try to do a hot chicken. And if you compare it to Hattie B's, it just doesn't work. It's kind of like, the knockoff of Gus's fried chicken, which we have downtown. And it's fantastic compared to the original one in Memphis. But if we're getting another chicken place and they've got 8 that they're going to open and another Chick-fil-A that is going to open, are we done with the chicken shortage that we had for so long? I mean, do you remember when there was the chicken shortage and, there was a wing shortage? So even Wingstop went thighs. I mean, are we done with the chicken shortage now that we have all these new chicken places opening up?
I have no idea. Yeah, you're right. I don't have the answer to it. I don't ask questions. I just eat.
Well, you're a reporter. You're supposed to ask questions.
Well, here's the deal. Well, wait a minute. We talked about this yesterday.
Chicken factories.
So everything tastes like chicken. So how do you know it's not something else?
Oh, stop.
It could be something else.
Stop.
Everything tastes like chicken.
Stop, Ryan Eagle.
Might be rattlesnake.
Stop, Ryan Eagle. One day off of TV and look at him.
Have you ever had rattlesnake?
He's wild enough. No, I've had frog.
Yeah, frog legs. Yeah, but I don't think they taste like chicken. And somebody told me that the first time I ever tried it. Oh, it just tastes like chicken.
Yeah, that's not true.
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
So you've had rattlesnake?
I had it back where I'm from, Alice, Texas. And about 30 miles south is a little town called Freer.
Uh-huh.
And they have the rattlesnake roundup down there every year. It's kind of like their fiesta or their strawberry festival or whatever.
Rattlesnake on a stick?
It's rattlesnake. Well, any kind. It's fried rattlesnake.
Sounds like something that's happened at Oyster Bake over there at St. Mary's.
Right. It's not bad. It's not. I mean, it's not something I'd order at a restaurant. But when you're in Rome,
yeah, there you go.
You know what I'm saying? So it was good. It was
it's
all right.
Interesting to know that there's probably people out there that are like, man, I'm craving some rattlesnake.
Man, put it in stew. Let's go.
Not bad.
I mean, got to eat.
Yeah.
Maddie, always appreciate it. Have a great week.
See you, Maddie.
Okay.
Maddy Skye from the San Antonio Express News, the food and culture editor, as she joins us every week.